threatening to make the theme this year, 2012, let's get it over with.
Right now, internationally as well as the UK, it's kind of like a second birth of dance music. It's like the second summer of love or something. You know, rave music, dance music, and rave music in general has gotten a whole new audience now, and it's almost gotten bigger than it did the first time around, especially in America, you know.
Can you tell me about the birth of bass music?
Norman Jay said it really beautifully, that the DNA of dance music, full stop, is Lee Scratch Perry and James Brown. So you got the funk of James Brown, Funkadelic, Parliament, all those guys, the 70s funk where a lot of the beats are stolen from, the hip hop, and then into, you know, breaks, drum and bass, and then all the way through to the bass music that you hear today.
I feel like with bass music, it has more room to evolve than any other electronic genre. Because like house music and psytrance and whatever has been around for a while, and it's kind of stayed pretty much the same. But I feel like with bass music and dubstep and these underground scenes, it's been moving in this kind of different direction.
The predominant sound right now, anyway, for bass music is kind of jump up, you know, which is great. I love all the, you know, circus record stuff and that kind of vibe. But here they play a lot more subtle, a little more kind of funky and deep, but still heavy. And I guess you get a lot more of the hi-fi influence, a lot of the crunk influence in the electronic music, which is sweet. It's a different take, and that's what distinguishes the West Coast flavor, I think, from the UK flavor.
How do you explain the current draw in the mainstream to electronic art and music?
My sense of it is that we're entering a time when everyone's heads is kind of becoming blown off to these other domains, spiritual and otherwise, and electronic music addresses the environment outside of the physical more thoroughly, and the sounds coming out of modern dubstep and stuff are just like DNA rearranging and dimension illuminating sounds that I think people are really intrigued by.
I think it's just the digital world we're in. It's so easy to make music on computers, and it's a vibration thing. Like a rock band playing through a PA like 50 years ago is way different than hearing a sub bass through a system out here.
As better computers have come out, we've kind of adjusted, and now it's become a real force. Feels like a natural expression of another instrument.
How are you embracing the internet?
Oh, the internet's fucking phenomenal. I don't know, the whole like pirating, copying, I'm like, whatever, man. Share it all. You know, like, I just say get it out there and share it with people and let the information and the art run free.
I always think of like the computer as being kind of like the new electric guitar for kids. Like, everyone has them in their house, everyone's doing something on it, and my God, you can go onto YouTube and you can look at tutorials on anything.
Back in the day, before, I guess, the digital revolution, I could go out and tour in Australia and get a bunch of tunes off my mate, and no one would even hear them out there for 3 months because they weren't on vinyl. Now you go anywhere and there'll be some kid playing some tunes that you got last week because they got them digitally off the same producer.
How does the playa breed creativity?
It's just freeing, you know, because this is like one place where, like, even though there's a lot of like really weird and different stuff that goes on, everyone's just being themselves, you know. You're just enjoying like being out here. And there's the cool thing about Burning Man is it's not just all like peace and love. It's like it represents like everything about like human nature, you know. There's people that aren't very nice out here. There's people that, you know, just love you, and it's just all aspects of society, I feel like.
You get to go to this place where you're just fully focused on exactly what you're doing in the moment, sometimes not even thinking, and to be able to connect with people on that kind of level and synchronicity is priceless. You can't find that much anywhere else.
You got to want to be here. You got to want to be doing something different to a very open-minded crowd who are also very creative, and the standard is high here in terms of the playing, in terms of the visual aspect. The crowds are incredible because of the participatory element to it, right? So everyone's coming with some crazy costume or some amazing art car or so, whatever it is.
It really was just a mind-blowing experience as far as just no walls and the openness that people have for just people expressing themselves.
This is the exact opposite of everything that we do normally. So I think that really at the end of the day, it's about your community and about being, touching your fans on a base level of their expression,
You see all these amazing artists out here contributing their stuff to the scene. That's inspiring that there's still a place, where you can do that. Maybe for that 1 week, you can't necessarily make a living off it, and then maybe you actually spend a bunch of money to make it happen. But the end result, in some ways feels like way more fulfilling.
That's the best part of this event, is the diversity. And thank God that we have the internet, and thank God we have people that are fearless. It's funny when people will say, well, I'm not an artist. Well, that's why, again, the other principle of, participate. You don't have to be an artist. You're going to contribute. You're going to participate in any way.
Well, for a start, the people who come out here are kind of creatively oriented because you don't get paid to play here. Do you know what I mean? So all the artists come out, you pay for a ticket like everyone else, and you play 12 gigs in 5 days, and you're not paid for any of them.
It's about all the people that are at Burning Man, and so that's driven how we change. Like, we create the vessel, and people come in and do what they will with it. That's where the magic happens, and we have no control over any of that. We just sit back and watch it. We definitely do look for signs and pick things that we think should be nurtured and try to nurture, but it's the participants out there that are making the change.
People feel they can experiment here because the crowds are so open to whatever you want to bring. So you can come with some full left field shit, and people might stand and stare at you for 20 minutes like they did the first time I played dubstep to them. But once they get into it, they'll give you a break. They're not here to hear one sound. They're not here to hear just the biggest tunes.